Day 3 of the NFL Draft is well underway. I'm your host, Harrison Graham from Chicago Bears Now. Back at it once again. We're at about pick 141. Bears got a couple of picks coming up at number 148 and number 150. We'll keep you tapped in with what's happening in the NFL Draft, not just with the Bears, but with everything going on. But in the meantime, shout out your city. Yes, Zach Tom just went to the damn Packers. I was hoping he would make it to Chicago at 148, the center tackle hybrid, but that is not the way it goes. In fact, screw shout out your city. FGB, we're not wasting any time here on Bears Now because you know what? Fuck the Packers. Come on. Boo. FGB in the chat. Let's get the hell away from Green Bay because it's cold as hell up there. It's cold in Chicago, but at least there's stuff to do there. FGB, screw the Packers. You know, it'd be like that sometimes. FGB with the middle finger from Fofo Plays. The Great says FGB. Ronnie says FGB. Bears fan living in Arlington, Texas. What's good, Fusion? Just down the road. Another Josh says FGB. The Great Boy says FGB. Todd says FGB. Jay, Lucas, Julio, Jeff, Marcus, Tone, Danny. Lots of FGBs going on in the chat. Liz says FGB. FGB from Big Chief as well as Jacob. All right, so this is what the Bears have done up to this point in the draft. No first-round pick, no fourth-round pick. Now we're into round 5, around pick 141. We'll see what they do at 148 and 150. Kyler Gordon, the quarterback out of Washington, was the selection at number 39 overall. Jaquan Brisker, the safety out of Penn State, was the pick at number 48 overall. And then Velus Jones Jr., which was a bit of a surprise, but I'll be honest, I watched some highlight clips of him last night. I think he has a chance to be a fun and exciting player. He'll for sure be a good return man, but we'll see if he can turn into a good receiver. Now, Tom Downey, his best available, and by the way, Calvin Austin went just a few picks ago as well. He's a guy I would have had some interest in. Darian Kennard, I think, is a guy I would be willing to draft here. Jamari Salyer as well. I think they could both start at guard potentially for you, so I think those are two names to monitor here. Tariq Woolen is intriguing. Could you go Woolen and then one of those linemen? That would be fascinating. Zion McCollum, another corner there. Dominique Robinson, Darian Beavers, Kingsley Enagbare, and then Sam Howell, the quarterback, still on the board as well out of North Carolina as we shift here into the 5th round just momentarily of the NFL Draft. So let's ride. About to be in round 5. Get back to the FGBs here. Let's get some more shout-outs here. Jilly says FGB from Poland. FGB from Captain Church. Ravens killing the draft. They are, but then they drafted the wrong punter. Why not Matt Araiza? Why not? FGB from Cam Sorsey. Lucas says FGB. Dangerous says FGB. Chris says FGB. We got our first Super Chat of the day, and then we can show our Super Chat menu for today as well. We'll get to that in just a moment. Producer Coop still getting everything situated on his end. FGB from California from Samoan. We've also got, let me get my draft cast over here. We got DC saying FGB. The game is on, says FGB. You guys should know what that all stands for. Demarion Williams out of Houston, a corner, goes to Baltimore, so now the Rams are on the clock at 142. What's been your favorite pick so far? This is also the live poll question. Type KG for Kyler Gordon. Type JB for Jaquan Brisker. Type VJ for Velus Jones Jr. Favorite pick so far. I especially like the first two, and the Velus Jones pick is growing on me. Now, if you want to make Velus Jones a guy that needs to run all the route tree, you're not going to be successful. But I think he can run some go routes. You can get him the ball in space. Ryan Poles talked about lining him up in the backfield. He even mentioned Jones as a guy that he watched film with Justin Fields. So this is a guy they liked. And even if they picked him a bit early, they could have been operating like this. Maybe they thought they could get him in the 4th round. but they don't have a fourth-round pick, so they went ahead and took him in the third round. Carter Miller getting the Super Chat Palooza started today. I know we haven't done a lot for the offense, but be patient. There's still a lot of draft left and free agent options. I commend Poles for not trading up like crazy, especially after that O-line and wide receiver run. Yeah, look, it became obvious early, Carter, and I think that's a good point you make there that a lot of linemen and receivers were going to go early. Bears didn't have the capital to get up there, and they weren't going to trade a future first to do it. So I think they stuck to their board for their first 2 picks. Maybe they reached a little for Velus Jones, but they filled a need there and got an explosive playmaker. You look at our Super Chat menu today. I had to raise the shots to $20 because your boy almost stumbled out of here last night, and I had to recover this morning. But for 20, I will take shots. We've got the fireball. Since you sent in 10, I'll crack a beer and I'll take a couple of sips. Beers cheers for 5. That's a double dipper there. For 30, I'll chug a lot of my beer. Then for 100, we'll bring the beer bongs back, which we still owe you 2. So whether we get to them today or on Tuesday, we owe you guys 2. Producer Trace at some point is supposed to come in here. We'll see if that can happen. So hang on. Appreciate all of that. Want to continue to plug the call-in app. We were telling you guys about this last night when we were live here on Bears Now. And let me get the link and everything that you need in there to go ahead and give us a follow. Chatsports.com/Bears call in. It's a social audio podcasting app. I go live, you guys join the live, you guys can request to talk, you ask me questions, we talk back and forth about the Chicago Bears. Kind of like what I've been doing on Instagram Live, but I actually like this app a lot more because I have a radio background. I want to hear from you guys. Plus, if you're camera shy, hey, I don't have to see you. I can just listen to your voices. It's got a live chat feature as well. Weekly live shows, that's the plan moving forward. Your chance to call in and talk to me, and I want to talk to all you. It's a chance for me to connect with all of you. We're going to go live 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central Time, so go ahead and join in on the fun. Subscribe below, chatsports.com/Bears call in. If you're on your phone, you'll probably have to download the app after you do that, but then it'll redirect you to Bears Now on call-in, and we can get more people in here. We're going live after the Round 5 ends here on today's NFL Draft coverage. You see the countdown clock, hour and 35 minutes away, and then later on we'll send you the specific link in the chat for the call-in live show that we will get going later on. So join in, subscribe. I'm excited about the future of this app. Guys, if we grow enough, we could be doing some live call-in post-game shows in the fall. And that sounds like a lot of fun. With my radio background, I want to hear from Bears fans after wins or losses. Some of the top offensive tackles available, because obviously O-line is an area that the Bears haven't been able to address. Jacoby Durant just went off the board to the Rams, so we're at pick 143 now as we're almost into round 5. Rasheed Walker out of Penn State, intriguing player. Matt Wallet-Zetko and Braxton Jones a little further down on Downey's big board. You look at some of the interior O-linemen. I think that Jamari Salyer is a guy that I would be interested in, and we just saw what's-his-name go. Give me just a second here. We just saw Zach Tom go a little bit ago. I don't know why I was drawing a blank, but Jamari Salyer, Justin Schaefer, a couple of interesting targets there as well. And then Darian Kennard out of Kentucky, who's listed as a center but can play some guard. He's still on the board also. Receivers available. Khalil Shakir. I would take him with one of these picks if he's there. I like him a lot. He's got good speed. Kyle Phillips out of UCLA is an intriguing player. Justin Ross, I'd be okay with it here, but it's a risk. He hasn't been the same player since his freshman year, I think primarily due to that spinal cord injury, but we haven't seen him play like that since then. So can he get back to close to that level? I don't know. That worries me. Bo Melton's a guy who's been moving up boards recently. He could be a decent option here as well. A few more receivers. Kevin Austin Jr. out of Notre Dame. Deshaun Dixon. Charleston Rambo I liked a couple years ago at Oklahoma, but and had good numbers at Miami last year. Then he ran like a 4.67. So he's kind of lower on my board as well. And then Makai Polk out of Mississippi State also. So who do you want the Bears to draft next? And then after this question, we'll kind of recap round 4 up to this point, see who all's gone off the board on day number 3. Who do you want the Bears to draft next? As the Titans are on the clock with pick 143, and it's the final pick of the 4th round. And it looks like the Titans are taking a tight end, Chig Okonkwo. So we're now officially into round 5. I'll get some shout-outs here, then we'll recap round 4 as it just came to an end. Calvin Austin already went, another Josh. He went about 10 picks ago. DJ Harad says Kennard. Salyer from Georgia Rebel. Tariq Woolen. I'd be interested in one of those picks, but your secondary is kind of in a good spot. Darian Kennard from Crazy. Shakir, please, from Lucas Prang. Shakir is a steal. Yeah, I like Shakir here. I think he's a guy I'd be very, very interested in. So you can go back to that last one right here. Coop, let's recap round number 4. Danny Gray ended things last night to the 49ers. Then round 4, Cade Otton, the tight end out of Tampa Bay, or from Washington, goes to Tampa Bay. Florida running back Dameon Pierce to Houston. Perrion Winfrey, I like that pick for the Browns. He goes to Oklahoma. Kobe Bryant, type 8, type 24 in the chat. The corner out of Cincinnati goes to Seattle. Daniel Falele, the tackle out of Minnesota, goes to Baltimore. Max Mitchell, the tackle out of Louisiana, is gone. Daniel Bellinger goes. Percy Butler, Dane Belton, Damari Mathis, and then Ioma Uwazaruke.
6 out of 10.
All right, 6 out of 10, Coop says. Keep it moving here. Michael Clemens, the edge out of Texas A&M. Caleb Evans went to Minnesota. Jalen Armour-Davis, and then Braden Smith, all coming off the board. Jack Jones, the corner out of ASU, goes to the Patriots. Zamir White goes to the Raiders. Isaiah Spiller off the board to the Chargers. Cade York, kicker, LSU, he goes to the Cleveland Browns. Eric Ezukama, the wide receiver out of Texas Tech, goes to Miami. Neil Farrell Jr., the defensive lineman out of LSU. Pierre Strong Jr. goes to New England. Ooh, excuse me, already burpee. Charlie Kolar goes to Baltimore. I like that pick. Baltimore's had a great draft overall. Jake Ferguson, another tight end, went to Dallas. Jordan Stout went to the Ravens. Hassan Haskins went to Tennessee. Romeo Doubs went to Green Bay. So they've got a couple of receivers also with Christian Watson. Jake Camarda, another specialist, goes to the Bucs. Spencer Burford went to for the 49ers. Joshua Williams, the cornerback, went to Kansas City. And then Cordell Volson, the guard out of North Dakota State, went to Cincinnati. Bailey Zappi getting drafted before Sam Howell to the New England Patriots. He's such a Patriots pick, by the way. Calvin Austin III goes to Pittsburgh. Isaiah Likely goes to Baltimore. Zach Tom to Green Bay. Demarion Williams to Baltimore. The Rams select Jacoby Durant. And then Chigo Okonkwo, the tight end, lands with Tennessee as we are officially on the clock in round number 5. And there he goes. Sam Howell to Washington. That's pretty good value in the 5th round behind Carson Wentz for the Washington Commanders. But we're all here to wait and see who the Bears draft. So can I get a Bears down in the comment section? I want to hear it from you guys. Be loud in the chat because that's what we're here for at the end of the day, to see the passion from you guys. Spam Bear down in the comment section. Let's get it. Let's get after it. Let's have a blast. Shout out to Tyler Houston, who followed me on Callin and subscribed to Bears Now. Anybody who subs on Callin will get a shout out. We're going to go live on Callin at 2:30 Central Time, audio podcasting app where you guys can call in and I take your questions. We talk some Bears draft. It should be a lot of fun. Couple shout-outs, then we'll get to this super chat. Lucas says bear down. Jeremy says bear down. Vellon says bear down. Terry says bear down. FGB from Mike. We got a bear down from another Josh. Sid says bear down. Richard says bear down. Ken McKenzie says bear down. Go Lions from Craig. Logan says FGB as well. And then we got a bear down from Ken McKenzie. Appreciate the $1 from Jason Williams for supporting the show. That's awesome. Lucas Prang with the $2. Shakir and Jones Jr. would be very fun to watch. Speed, baby. If Khalil Shakir is there at 148, I would be very interested in making that selection if I was Ryan Poles. So we'll see what happens. They got picks 148 and 150 coming up as things are going down. Looks like the Chiefs just made a selection, and they just took a potential Bears target, Darian Kennard out of Kentucky. I think they traded up here with Seattle. I think that's what happened here. We'll see. Oh, wait, no. Guess what? Jordan Schultz, Wrong again, I think. Darren Kennard is off the board, but he's going oh, no, he is going to the Chiefs. He was right. Our other source on Twitter was wrong. Darren Kennard off the board. Either way, he's not going to the Bears. Shout out your city. Let us know where you guys are watching from as we are live for Day 3 of the 2022 NFL Draft. We'll get some shout-outs flowing here, and we'll have a lot of fun throughout the show. Damn, I wanted him. It be like that sometimes. It be like that sometimes. Let's see. Nathan's in Chicago. Naples, Florida from David. Bangor, Maine from Daryl. Glenn. We got Orion in Greece. What time is it in Greece right now? Probably about 8 o'clock. A little dinner time action. Des Moines, Iowa from Terry. We'll get to that super in a sec from Luke. Andrew says he's in Chicago. Do a little subby after that soup as well. Anderson from Scott. Jake is in Illinois. Ken is in McKenzie. The game is on from Aurora. Ken McKenzie in Dallas. Go Pat Go from Ernest. FGB from me. Maurice is in Sharon. E-Town from Jonathan. We got Tamber the Lambert in Chicago. Lake County, Florida from Charlie. Let's see here. We got James in Sturgis. Got Angelo in Montreal, Canada. Luke with the super chat. You Santa's nephew? Are you mad we didn't go with Dion to pair with Rowe? Oh, Dean, N'Kobe Dean. No, I wouldn't say I'm mad. You got Nick Morrow. You probably need to add a third backer, but maybe sign someone cheap in free agency, or maybe find someone here on day 3. You know, I think I don't think it was a massive need. When you have Roquan Smith, linebacker isn't a major need. You can kind of just plug in decent guys next to him and get by there. Sure, it would have been fun, and I would have been cool with it, but I wouldn't say I was, like, devastated or something like that. Thank you guys for supporting Bears Now and for joining us live. Offseason coverage is hot. Free agency has been hectic the last couple of months in the NFL. Now the draft's been fun. It'll kind of shift back into free agency mode. And then, of course, you know, more offseason workout stuff will begin. Rookie minicamp, OTAs, training camp here in a few months. It'll all be here very, very quickly. So subscribe. Hit that big red button. Please help us out. We're trying to get to 47,000 subscribers ASAP. Just see a couple more coming in. 46,514. So hit that sub button, youtube.com/Bears. Now we'll have you covered throughout the NFL draft and throughout the NFL offseason. Circle back to what the Bears have done so far as we are getting closer to the Bears pick. I think we're at, what are we at, 146 now? Giants have back-to-back picks before the Bears at 148 and 150. Here's what the Bears have done so far. Kyler Gordon, the quarterback out of Washington. Jaquan Brisker, the safety out of Penn State. Velus Jones Jr., the wide receiver out of Tennessee, as Ryan Poles did not trade down on day 1. Oh, we should mention, can we get to that trade the Bears made today, Coop? It could be in there. The Bears did make a trade to get 2 more 7th-round picks. That's my fault for not mentioning that sooner. I did tweet it out, so if you guys follow me at HGramNFL, you would have known that. But the Bears did add more draft capital in round 7. So, you know, guys they would have probably tried to get as UDFAs. Maybe they can go ahead and select them in the 7th round. You never know who could still be on the board at that point in time. But the Bears did trade with the Chargers earlier today. They sent a 2023 6 that they got from the Chargers back to the Chargers for picks 254 and picks 255. So the Bears will have a pair of 7th-round picks now. So a few more picks to come. This was the trade. Just send back the pick you got for Mac and get 2 7ths. So there you go. We'll see what those picks turn into. But, hey, if you have 2 darts in round 7, maybe one of them makes the roster. So you never know. Never hurts to have extra draft picks. Micah McFadden, the linebacker out of Indiana, he comes off the board here to the New York Giants. So we're now 1 pick away. Oh, they're going back-to-back here. DJ Davidson out of Arizona State. So back-to-back picks for the Giants already in. Bears are on the clock. So here we go. Let's see who Ryan Poles selects at 148. I'm going to tweet that out. Who do you want the Bears to draft? Get your votes in. We'll look at the best available here in a second as well. Here we go. Here we go. Who do you want the Bears to draft? I'll get some shout-outs here. You like Melton? Khalil Shakir, Justin Ross. Justin Ross would be a good pickup. I'd rather go Shakir. Chris Paul, the tackle out of Tulsa. I'd be intrigued by him. Matt Araiza. Could you go Araiza with one of these picks? Bears could use a punter. I wouldn't hate it. I probably wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't hate it. Any O-line? Yeah, there's some offensive linemen available. Let's take a look at those guards here, Coop, and then we'll take a look at the overall best available. There are some guards available. Bills trade up with the Bears. So the Bills trade up. Ryan Poles getting more capital, though. I don't completely hate it. We'll take a look at these details. Bears trade 148 to Buffalo for 168 and 203s. We combo 148, 168 now, probably the move. So trade is in 148 for 168 and 203. We'll get those details on screen here. But the Bears still have a pick at 150 coming up, so stay tuned for that. I don't mind it. You get an extra selection here. Is 203 in the 6th round or 7th? It is in the 7th. It's in the 6th. It's in the 6th round. So you get an extra 6th. Bills get 148. Bears get 168. And, a 6th next year. Okay. So you just replenished. Wait, hold on. That's incorrect. We got to fix that graphic. We'll come back to this. It's not a 2023 6th. It's a 6th this year. It's 203. So we'll come back to that. We'll fix that for you. If you love the Bears, like the video. We only have 100 likes. Come on. We only have 101 likes. Yeah, it's a 6th this year. Sorry for the confusion. We'll get that fixed. Like the video. If you love the Bears. There is apparently conflicting info. Field Yates did report it as a 6th-round pick. But I believe it's a pick this year. I believe this is the trade. We'll go ahead and show it here. 168 and 203 this year for 148. And that makes way more sense because trading a future 6th is like trading a 7th, really. That's how NFL teams view future picks, kind of one round later. So there you go. 228 likes. Every 300 likes is a shot of Fireball. We're still running that back today. And we'll get to that $20 super chat, which is also a shot of Fireball. So stay tuned. So there's the trade. Appreciate you guys liking the video. 58 likes from 300. Orad the mod. Here's to you, Harrison, and all of Bears Nation. Bottoms up. We're getting started, baby. That's right. Producer Coop says, oh, boy, but did I make it last night, Coop? I did. You got to be built different. Cheers.
We have a call-in show today, so you have to be in the right mind for that.
That's true. I can't be sloshed for call-in, but we'll make it work. We'll be good. Here's our Super Chat menu. All Super Chats get a shout-out. $5 for Beers Cheersing. For $20, we'll take a shot. For $30, I'll chug a good portion of my beer. Then for $100, I will do a beer bong. We just got a $5 Super Chat from Sang Ray Kim. And the Bills select Khalil Shakir. Bears fans in shambles. That's the risk. You get an extra pick, but I would have liked Khalil Shakir there. I'll tell you that. It'd be like that. Sangray Kim with the $5 super chat. The fact that the wide receiver taken was a run after catch guy speaks volumes about the management doubt of Buston's ability to throw the mid to the long ball. You know what's interesting, Sangray Kim? Justin Fields actually graded out as one of the best deep ball throwers in the league last year. The advanced stats show that. So he certainly struggled in other areas, but vertical passing is actually an area he did not struggle in. They just didn't do it enough because Nagy wanted to run curl routes every single play for some reason. So Khalil Shakir goes 148. So there we go. Let's get it with the timer on as well. Appreciate you guys rocking and rolling. Bears are going to pick again here at 150. We'll see who is on the clock here at 149. We'll see who gets picked here. Follow us on Callin. It's a new app we've partnered with, audio social podcasting app. It's pretty cool. You guys are allowed to call into the show. It's literally the name of the podcast. Really creative by them. Audio social podcasting. It's like Twitter Spaces, but better. It's its own separate app. Weekly live shows. I'm going to go live weekly. You guys hop on. You queue up. You ask your questions. I take calls from you guys. I can even make you guys co-hosts. I don't think I'm going to do that on today's show. We're going to go live in an hour and 17 minutes or so. But this is your chance to call in to the show. Chatsports.com/BearsCallIn. Go ahead and download the app right there. Let me get that in the live chat, by the way, as well. Chatsports.com/BearsCallIn. I'll give shout-outs to everybody who downloads the app. I want to hear from you guys. This is my chance to hear from you. This is your chance to interact directly with me. I'm fired up about this. I want this to grow so we can do some shows in the fall. By the way, wrong layer there. Who should the Bears draft next? It's all good. Who should the Bears draft next? We got a $20 super chat. Rams just traded for Troy Hill. They just wheel and deal. They don't even F them picks. Matt Arrays at 150, Jamie says. Put that call-in link in there a couple more times for you guys. Commanders are going to draft a tight end, Cole Turner, at 149. Who do you guys want to draft? Fire polls from Kyler. That's a take. We haven't even seen this team play a game yet. Ontario Drummond from Richard. Trolls are out in force today. Georgia O-line guy as the Bears are back on the clock. Give me a sec, tweeting out. Let's go to the super chat. Appreciate Gary here. Bear down, now take a shot. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cheers. So the Bears are on the clock. Let's take a look at the overall best available, Coop. See who some of Tom Downey's best players available are at this point in the draft. Pick 150, where you can find value here. We saw Darnell Mooney as a fifth-round pick can become a really good player for the Bears, obviously. Here's Downey's best available. Tariq Woolen is still out there. I know you don't really need another member of your secondary, but 4.26 speed, intriguing. Jamari Salyer out of Georgia, the guard. I'd be really intrigued with that at 67. Zion McCollum, a cornerback. Dominique Robinson, edge out of Miami of Ohio. Darian Beavers, Cincinnati linebacker. Kyron Williams, and then Leketta Smith, the guard out of Virginia Tech. Downey's other best available guys here as well. Cade Mays, I kind of like him out of Tennessee. Kellen Deesh out of ASU. Kyle Phillips, the receiver out of UCLA. And then JoJo Doman, the linebacker out of Nebraska. So let's see. Bears have traded down again. Trade. Woo, woo. So Ryan Poles wheeling and dealing here on day 3, trying to get all of them picks. Texans going to take Thomas Booker, it looks like. Bears trade 150 for 166 and 207. So here's the first trade they made. No, still not the right one. Here's the trade they just made. That's the trade they made with Buffalo. 148 for a 5th and a 6th, 168 overall, 203 overall. That other trade was the one they made earlier to get 2 7th-round picks. So we can't show that one. But this is the one they made earlier, and then we'll get to the trade that just happened in just a moment. Waiting for the finalized info to come in here as Ryan Poles continues to trade down here on day number 3. Someone says, I want to cry. Well, you guys were begging him to trade, and now he does, and you want him out? I mean, what do you want him to do? So the Bears now have 2 5th-round picks, 3 6th-round picks, 2 7th-round picks. So 7 more picks to come for the Chicago Bears. So we'll see what they do with those picks when we get to them. Can I get a bear down? Come on. Let's get it. Can I get a bear down in the comments? Let's get it popping here. Here on Bears Now. This is why we go live, because we can react to everything that is happening. So here we go. Get the bear downs going. Another Josh says bear down. Danny James says bear down. Earth says bear down. Bear down from Adam, Donald, William. A lot of fire polls in the chat. I think that's ridiculous. Bear down from Aaron. Nicholas says got 6 picks now. I think 7 picks now. Yeah, 7 more picks. So you're going to have 10 in total at this point, unless the Bears trade up at some point. Here's the details for this trade. Texans get 150, Bears get 166 and 207. So drop back in the 6th, or in the 5th, and then add another 6th as well. Is there a way we can look at the updated picks? I don't know how that works. I can verbalize it here. The Bears now have 166, 168, 186, 203, 207, 254, 255. That is the update on that front. So 2 5ths, 3 6, and 2 7ths. So there we go. There we go. Audience is starting to grow here, so want to encourage you guys to subscribe to the channel here on Bears Now. The latest Chicago Bears news, rumors, trying to get to 47,000. Can we show the number one, even if it's not quite updated here, Coop? We're less than 500 subs away from 47,000. We'll update this number. We're at 46,520. I'm out of the sheet, so you can hop in there. 46,520. Trying to get to 47,000. Can we get there today? If we get there during my live show, I'll take a bonus shot. How about that? Actually, I'll do a beer bong if we get to 47,000 subscribers during our live show. It's free. All you got to do is hit that sub button. I'll do a beer bong for 47K subs. Who says no? Who says no? We just got a $10 super chat, which we'll get to as well. So hit that subscribe button. If we hit the 47K before the live show ends, we will take a shot. So that is the plan for now. Appreciate you guys for rocking and rolling with us. Hit that subscribe button so we have you guys covered. Sangre Kim with the 5-piece do or die debate duel between Harry and me on Colin. Is Bustin' a bust? Should the Bears move on from Bustin'? Hey, you can call in. Let's get that lower third. Chatsports.com/Bears call in. You guys can join us and call into the show. I'll get that link back in the chat for you guys. That's exactly what I want. I want to embrace debate with you guys. Even if I disagree, I will, we can fire back and forth at each other. We can have some fun. So we will see what happens in the future. That is for sure. Appreciate you guys for tuning in on YouTube. We're also live on Rumble as well. Let me see if we got Esberg, Q Carrito in there also on Rumble. Come join the show. The plan to go live at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central Time. I think that's still when we'll go live. Maybe we'll move it back 20, 30 minutes. We'll see if the Bears keep trading down. But I still think we'll stick to that time frame. Chatsports.com/BearsCallin. This is an app that allows you guys to call in directly to me. It's like Twitter Spaces, but more user-friendly. And you can also edit the show afterwards, and I can post it on demand. That's not something Twitter Spaces does. So kind of that podcasting feature where people can listen after the fact. weekly live shows, your chance to call in and talk to me. Chatsports.com/BearsCallIn. I'm going to get that link in the chat for you guys. Chatsports.com/BearsCallIn. And I'll get shout-outs to everybody who subscribes. Let's see. We've got a few more subscribers here. We got Carter, Phil, Tyler, Nate, Tyler, Matthew, and Tommy all hopping in. Over 30 subscribers now on Callin. Let's keep it growing. I want this to be at, over 1,000 by football season if we can, so we can do some live post-game shows, call-in style. That way you guys can get your thoughts. All right, Dylan Russell, damn, Poles gets to the 5th round of his first draft, and you guys already want to fire him. F off. Yeah, and I 2 swigs, by the way. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, I mean, Dylan, that's how I feel. You want to fire the guy after how this goes. After half a draft, you guys want to fire the guy. I don't mind what the Bears have done. Look, I would have loved Khalil Shakir. That's the gamble you take when you trade down. Maybe the Bears aren't high on him as the Falcons draft Tyler Algier out of BYU. What's the updated plan here? Oh. We could do – hold on. We should do 168, 166, 168. I think we can do that. But we'll see. Brad with a $5. Appreciate the super. When should we go for Matt Araiza? Cheers, number 1. Just got a 20-piece, so soups are flying in. When should we go for Araiza? You got enough picks now. If he's there, you could take him. You in? You want punter?
I was about to say I like this next super chat idea.
All right, let's see it from Ben. Beard shave for $47,000. But don't you guys want it to grow out? Then I shaved the full thing. I shaved a couple weeks ago, so it's not that thick right now. We're kind of standard
$100
length.
soup you shave?
No.
No?
If we get another 300, I don't have my razor up here, so I can do it Tuesday.
You have the lawnmower 4.0 right there.
Dude, no.
Ah.
Ben, if we get there today, I will shave live on the show on a future show because I want it to grow out. Then I can shave the full thing. You get a better experience. We get to 47,000 by the end of the show. I will shave on a future show. How about that? But we got to get there before this live show ends. So that is going to be the move. There goes Tariq Woolen off the board. He goes to Seattle. I like that pick for the Seahawks. 4.2, 640. He's got really good athleticism. I thought he might sneak into day 2. He falls into the middle of day 3. Draft Araiza and all defense. Bear down. All defense? You want more defense? I'm fine if some picks are defense, but let's get some offense too. Logan with the 20-piece. That's a shot. Since the Bears have 7 picks left, 3 of them for O-line, 1 left for defensive end, then some weapons for Fields, FGB, let's effing go. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Now you could add a defensive end. You could add a defensive tackle with the extra capital and still get some of the another 20. All right, Coop's going to take one with me. Logan, appreciate that. Producer Coop's going to take a super with me. Push it. I'll read it, then we'll go full screen. All right. Mr. Antlers says, I've seen people complaining about not getting to pick quality players. You have a better shot at getting quality players by getting more picks, especially on day 3. The more darts you have, the better chance you're going to hit that bullseye, or at least hit, the 20 or the 17 or some of those high point numbers. So I completely agree. Producer Coop's going to come up and take a shot with me as we got almost 1,000 live, $138 in super chats. We're only 1,200 away from what we got last night. That was hectic. Cheers.
This is why
you subscribe. Cheers, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
College memories?
Oh, yeah. That's
That's good stuff. That is good stuff. All right, we got a 5-piece from Ben, and then let's hit some of the recent picks starting in round 5. Coop, get everybody caught up on that as well. Look at these supers. Was this the second one? This 20? All right, the super fan, appreciate the 20. We just took the 2 shots. Appreciate that. Lee with the $2 you don't have to trust the Manscaped. No, I trust it, but I want the beard to get thicker. It's much more of a better experience for you guys if it's thicker when I shave. So that's just my 2 cents. But hey, if you guys really want me to bad enough, I guess I can do it today. But also, I do have a call-in show, so it would have to be before then. Ben Eckert, $5. On a serious note, currently on rotation in Poland. Your streams help me keep in the loop. Love you, Harrison, and all my Bears fans here. Everybody type Ben in the chat for his service to this great country. Type Ben in the chat. That is awesome, Ben. The ultimate sacrifice that you guys make all across the world. If I make you smile once a day, I'm doing my job. Or if I keep you entertained or something else. So appreciate it. Hey, if you got any Bears fans over there in Poland too, spread the word, and we'll give you guys some love. So that is awesome. Shout out to Ben. Let's get the chants going. A lot of Ben love in the chat. Get some shout outs. A Moose, Julio, Danny, Sleeping, Brett, Jeremy, the great boy, Joe Bollock. Gary says Ben. A lot of support coming your way, my friend, so appreciate the $5. Here's what's happened here in round 5. Darian Kennard went to Kansas City at 145. Micah McFadden and DJ Davidson back-to-back picks for the Giants. Khalil Shakir after the Bears traded down with the Buffalo Bills. Cole Turner went to Washington. Thomas Booker, the Stanford defensive lineman, went to Houston. Tyler Algier went to Atlanta. Delenn Turner-Yell, the DB out of Oklahoma, ended up going with the Denver Broncos. And now at pick 154, who was at pick 153 here? Tariq Woolen went at 153. And then Snoop Connor, the running back out of Ole Miss, goes to 154. So who do you want the Bears to draft next? Let's hear it. Let's hear it from you guys. Who do you want the Bears to draft next? Gunnar gave me a subscribe, and he followed me as well. That's the thing. When you guys subscribe on Callin, you should see my face right there. You can give me a follow as well. It's kind of 2 different things within the app. So subscribe and follow us. I'll sneak that link in there one more time for you guys as well. That is awesome. Who do you want the Bears to draft next? I'll get some shout-outs here in just a moment. Took who? Matt Waletsko goes to Dallas here. Let me get some shout-outs. Justin Ross from Slayer. Lekada Smith from A Moose. Kellen Deesh from Tommy. Christopher Allen from Richard. How you feeling today, Harrison? Brian, the good news is I was peak drunk at 9:30? So we didn't leave here until 1 a.m., so I was sober as hell by then. So it was actually clutch that I got drunk earlier. Had it been 11 or 12, would have had to Uber home. Probably would have a hangover, but I stayed up, and I was getting other work done. So got to be built different. There's no doubt about that. All right, some of the best available per Tom Downey. Jamari Salyer, the guard out of Georgia. If he's there, I would love that pick. Zion McCollum, the corner out of Sam Houston State. Dominic Robinson, the edge out of Miami of Ohio. Darian Beavers, the linebacker out of Cincinnati. If you want to add another backer, he could be a good option. Kingsley Eningbare out of South Carolina. I actually like him quite a bit as an edge. You could use more pass rushers. Kyron Williams, the Notre Dame running back. Lekada Smith out of Virginia Tech. By the way, Lecidus. I looked this up once, and I can't remember now. I know I looked this up, but I'm drawing a blank. Cade Mays, I think, could be a sneaky starter at right guard as well, at least come in and compete for that role. But up to this point, just 3 selections on day 2. It was Kyler Gordon, the Washington corner, Jaquan Brisker, the safety out of Penn State, and then Tennessee wide receiver Velus Jones Jr., who by some is considered the best return specialist in the NFL draft. And I think your secondary is set. Everybody freaking out about back-to-back DBs. Now your secondary, I think, is pretty good, man. Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, your 2 outside corners. Tavon Young can handle the nickel there. Eddie Jackson, Jaquan Brisker, your safeties. I like that DB unit. I think that's a pretty strong group. You haven't had a good, strong safety since Adrian Amos, who left, after 2018? So yeah, I think that this group is shaping up to be pretty solid, even right away with a couple of rookies. We haven't done this in a while, so let's bring it back. FGB. 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 Keep it going in the chat. Thumbs up says FGB, so does Just. We've got Joe, Jess, Danny, Windy City, Josh, another Josh, Just, Brett, Daniel, back Green Bay from Just. That's how you cheat the system. Luke says FGB. Bandy, Amos, Just, Cameron, Aiden Bailey, Michael Jackson says question mark. That means F Green Bay. So no one likes the Packers soon. 166 coming up soon. That is absolutely correct. Once 166 and 168 come in, we'll react to those kind of together there. So obviously we'll give some analysis to 166 while we wait for 168, but that will be the move. FGB in the comment section. Who should the Bears draft next? That's my question for you here on Bears Now. Who are you interested in? Come on. We took a look at Downey's best available. Let's see what ESPN's best available also has Zion, McCollum, JoJo Doman, Kingsley Enagbare, so a lot of the similar names. Verone McKinley's still there, Jamari Salyer, like Tom mentioned, so a lot of the same guys there. But who should the Bears draft next? Somebody for the O-line. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get some help up there. I feel fairly confident that the Bears will probably sign someone in free agency on the offensive line now, whether it's an Eric Fisher or a Trey Turner or a Quentin Spain. There's still guys out there, but we'll see what happens on that front. I think we got a couple super chats that we can catch up on as well. Here were the trades, though, that went down 158 for 166 and 207. Also, this one right before that with the Bills, 148 for 168 and 203. Let's show the Chargers one, too, to get a couple of seventh-round picks earlier today. It was trading back that sixth-round pick to L.A. that you got in the Khalil Mack trade for next year for a pair of seventh-round picks. So Ryan Poles wheeling and dealing on day 3, giving himself some more darts to throw and try to get some new players for this football team. Another trade coming in for the Jags. Bucks get a 2023 fourth-round pick. Jags get 157 and 235, it looks like. So there you go. Sangray Kim with $5. If you know for sure that a return specialist will have a career production of Devin Hester, do you draft him in the first round? This is a good question. First round?
We've had this conversation in the Chat Sports office. We've talked about specialists. If you were guaranteed they were going to have a Justin Tucker-like career, would you take them in the first round?
I think it's a fair question. The problem with the return specialist now, Sanger Kim, is there's so many touchbacks. So you just get less opportunities. So round 1 is hard, but second round, if you told me that you get Devin Hester in the second round, absolutely. And I would still consider it in the first round. So, yeah, I mean, it's a possibility at the very least. It's just harder now because so many kickoffs are touchbacks. Obviously, you still have punt returns, but that is a bit of a difference compared to, 15 years ago. Welke, the Bears should take Laviska Shenault. Trade for him? Look, you got extra picks. Andy Isabella was reported to be on the trade block. N'Keal Harry, who I don't really like, but Isabella or Shenault? What if you traded a 5th and a 6th for one of those guys? I'm in. You got picks now. You got some picks to work with. Jerome Ford out of Cincinnati goes to the Browns. Dylan Russell, I really like Velus Jones Jr. He will obviously be our returner. I believe he will be our third receiver. Yeah, I think it's possible. You look at the receiver depth chart, can he be better than a guy like Equanimous St. Brown? And we'll update it. We'll get Velus Jones Jr. on there eventually. But this was the depth chart heading into the draft. Mooney, Pringle, Velus Jones, I'm not going to say it's great, but, if Kmet breaks out, has a nice little season, and if Velus Jones can hit some big plays for you, I don't think it's necessarily too bad as a couple more super chats come in. Zion McCollum, the corner out of Sam Houston State, just went off the board as we continue our coverage here in the 5th round of the NFL draft. So about 9 picks away from the Bears at 166. What's been your favorite pick for the Bears so far? Type KG for Kyler Gordon, type JB for Jaquan Brisker, or you can type VJ for Velus Jones Jr. I want to hear it from you guys. And then we'll get to those super chats. Best pick so far, the live poll, which has 1,100 votes, says Kyler Gordon 53%, Jaquan Brisker 36%, Velus Jones Jr. 11%. I think Gordon and Brisker for sure start as rookies, and I think Velus Jones will get good playing time. He may not be like a full-time starter, but he will as a return specialist, and I think he'll get good snaps on offense as well. Let's see. KG from TZ, JB from the It Yo. JB from Johnny. We got Carlton, same VJ. Kyle says KG. All were good from Mincer. JB from Xena. We got Kyler Gordon from Devin, David, Cram, Amber, all saying Kyler Gordon. Appreciate you guys for keeping the live chat busy. We're over 1,000 people live here on Bears Now. $25 away from $200, by the way. Oh, and we crossed 300 likes, so I've got to take a shot. Rick Bernico, let's ride. Was it shot number 5 already? Rick says, I'm not sure I can trust Foles. I think you mean Poles. What if he just wants to make a modern-day version of the Monsters of the Midway? I don't think that's what he's going to do, but, I mean, look, obviously you got to score more points in today's NFL. But you can't just ignore defense either, so a lot to consider. Ben Eckhart, cheers. Quick fire win prediction for next year with our current picks. Say 7-9. That feels right. If Justin Fields takes a big step, 17-game season, I think if he takes the step you're hoping for and the coaching's a lot better, schedule's going to be easier. We know that. So could you get to 9? Could you be like this year's Eagles from last year? Remember, they started slow, new coaching staff, Jalen Hurts still trying to figure things out, but then he started to play better. They started to win some close games. Could the Bears pull that off with some good defense and an offense that improves throughout the year? I think that's possible. And by the way, I think Fields has more tools to be a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. Here's our super chat menu as Tyreek Smith is off the board, the edge out of Ohio State. He goes to Seattle. All super chats get a shout-out. $5 for Beers cheersing you. Cheers, bottoms up. $20, I'm taking a shot of Fireball. $30, I almost said 300 because we got one last night. 300 super, hey. We got you covered. $100, we'll do a beer bong. We still owe 2, but we're stretched thin here on day 3 of the draft. One of my producers said he would do the beer bong, so if he's able to come back here, we will try to make that happen. So that is our super chat menu, as we got over 1,100 people live here on YouTube. Appreciate you guys for rocking and for rolling with us. And by the way, the road to 47K is underway. We're less than 500 subs away. Can we get there today? I'm going to put the link in the chat, and I want you guys to share this with a friend. Hit the sub button yourself if you haven't already. We don't just go live for the draft. We do videos every single day. We do weekly live videos on Tuesday, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central Time. Bears Now is your home for Chicago Bears news and rumors here on YouTube. I've got you covered on a daily basis, sometimes multiple videos per day as well. We launched in January of 2020, and we're almost at 50,000 subscribers by the end of the 2022 NFL Draft. So if we get there before football season, which is my hope, 50,000, then that would be awesome. That would be a really good milestone. So help us out, subscribe, turn on those noties. That way you know every time we publish a video. Okay, shout out your city. We never really did this earlier because we wanted to get to the FGBs since they had just drafted Zach Tom. Shout out your city. Bears are about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 picks away from 166.
All right, so Eric Johnson goes 150. Give me a pronunciation on this next one.
A pick just came in.
160.
Otito Ogbonnia. Otito Ogbonnia. Remember Chris
Ogbonnia.
Is that it?
You were close.
Otito Ogbonnia. So not the pronunciation of the former Texas running back. Very sad. Defensive lineman out of UCLA. Otito Ogbonnia goes to the Chargers. I'll get some shout-outs here. Andrew's in Chicago. Someone says if they trade again, I'm going to be tight. What does that mean? St. Louis from Chris. Does tight mean pissed? Kalamazoo from Ray. Orions in Greece. We got Alexander saying FGB. 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 Edgemont, South Dakota. George is in Buda. We've got Memphis from Cameron. Toxic with Phoenix. Justin says Champaign. Should be the same flow from earlier because it was 148, 150. So nothing should change on your end in the duck. Yeah, that's in there too. Yep. Appreciate that. I'll change those numbers just so you know. All right, FGB, bringing it back. I think maybe like at the beginning, show whatever pick so I can mention both guys. Then, yeah, let's do that. FGB, screw the Packers. Sorry, we're doing a little on-air producing, getting ready for these picks coming up for the Bears at 166 and at 150 or 168. As we're going to kind of combo those together with some analysis. FGB, F Detroit, F Minnesota. Do you like Bo Melton? I like him out of Rutgers. I think this is about the range where drafting him could make some sense. So we'll see. Them drinks working. I'm chilling right now. This ain't nothing compared to last night. Last night we got $1,300 in super chats. You guys are bringing it today with almost 200, but last night was a record, and shout out to all of you. Here's Downey's best available as we're about a handful of picks away from the Bears selection at 166. Jamari Salyer is still there. If he's there, I would like that pick. Maybe the Bears don't like him. I'm not sure. Dominique Robinson, the edge out of Miami of Ohio. Darian Beavers, the linebacker out of Cincinnati. Kingsley Enagbare, the edge out of South Carolina, still there. Kyron Williams, the Notre Dame running back. Leketta Smith, the guard out of Virginia Tech. Cade Mays, and then tackle out of ASU, Kellen Deesh, who's still there as well. And Downey with some of these linemen right here, kind of third, fourth round type of value guys for him. So, you get them late in round 5. I think that would be pretty good value. Kevin sends in $2. Appreciate the donation, my friend. Every donation helps. They all count, and we greatly appreciate it. Here's his question. New nickname alert. No Fly Chicago. KG, Breeze, Ty, JJ, Bojack. Hey, I'm in. No Fly, baby. Oh, guess who's back? Back again. Don Bird, Detroit best draft in the North. I haven't compared and contrast yet. I'll have to do that at the end of the draft. But I do like Aiden Hutchinson to Detroit. That kind of fell in y'all's lap. If they picked number 1, I'm sure they would have screwed it up somehow. But I do like Aiden Hutchinson, Donnie. I do like Aiden Hutchinson. So we appreciate it. Yeah, it's a good call. Maybe show the QR here. Oh, is it not? Give me a sec. Go to a comment driver here. Maybe just like one of the random ones. Give me just a second, guys. Got to add a couple things here.
In the meantime, who do you want the Bears to pick coming up?
Yeah.
You got 2 picks.
Let us know.
Let
Coop's
us know.
on the mic. Coop can give some shout-outs, too, as y'all come in. Get your votes in.
We got Justin Ross from Mark. I actually wanted to draft Justin Ross.
I think at this point I'd be okay with it. I loved him his freshman year at Clemson. He had the back neck injury, which is obviously a red flag. He hasn't played that well since then. But there's tape out there that exists that he's played well at, but I just don't know if he's the same guy anymore. But I might be willing to gamble here on day 3.
Ben Eckhart says Kingsley Enagbare. That's how you say it, right?
Yep.
Enagbare.
I'd be fine
Nicholas
with that
Richie
pick.
says Hayes or Sawyer.
Cade Hayes or Sawyer, the pair of guards there.
Neil Cox with the classic "Let's Go, Brandon." Some saying don't love Ross, so there's conflicting opinions there.
There's a Matareza.
And there's always a Matareza.
Yeah, baby. Hey, you got enough picks now. I'd be okay with it. I really would. Which, by the way, how do 2 punters go before him? I'm so confused. The guy launches the ball.
Unbelievable.
Honestly, that's
criminal.
That's fireable offense for those teams. Let's talk about Colin. Those photos should be in, by the way. The call-in app is something we have partnered with here on Chicago Bears Now. Chatsports.com/Bears call in. It's a social audio podcasting app which allows you guys to call into the show when I go live. I go live once a week. That's what we're going to do. Your chance to call in and engage with us. You know, ask me, hey, should Ryan Poles be fired? Hey, what do you think about this pick? What about this player? Could you sign them during the season? What did you think about this game? Did Justin Fields play good last week? Should he be benched? Whatever you guys want to ask, that's what you guys can do. It's Twitter Spaces on steroids. That's the best way I can describe it. But it's cooler as well because after you go live and finish the episode, you can kind of republish it as a audio-on-demand podcast. That way, if you guys can't join it live, you guys can also be involved in the show. So chatsports.com/BearsCall. I'm going to go live 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central Time. So we got 1,100 people watching live right now. So please subscribe. We'll give some shout-outs to everybody who does. And if you want to talk to me directly, because I want to talk to all of you, join us today on Callin. Chatsports.com/BearsCallin. And we will have you guys covered with more draft analysis. And if you guys are keeping track on the clock, by the way, more picks will probably come in while we're live on Callin. You can get live reaction from me while we are live on the Callin app. So that is your chance to interact with me. I highly suggest you do so. And I want to build a following over there because I want to do some post-game shows in the fall. All right, let's get the FGBs going again. Can't go to the well too many times. FGB, FGB. Get it flowing. Get it popping. Let's ride. Got a super chat that we'll get to here in a minute. DeMarco Jackson. Are you having to do that with the clock thing too? Or is that just effed? DeMarco Jackson to the Saints. So Bears are a few picks away here at 166. Denver on the clock at 162. Sounds like a receiver. We'll see which one it is. You can mess with it in preview if you need to. FGB. FGB. Let's ride. Did someone, overwrite it? You may just have to, copy it and make a second line so that doesn't happen. FGB in the chat. We'll get to that super chat, too, $10 from the Superfan Disciple. We'll get to that one as well. Let's do a social push soon. IG. Jess says FGB. John says FGB. Ben says FGB. Keep them flowing. Titans just selected UCLA wide receiver Kyle Phillips. Looks like that's the pick as well. So that just on the next read. I think that works. Mr. C in the chat. Aiden says FGB. Green Bay sucks from Toxic. So there you go. Kyle Phillips goes to the Patriots. We'll catch up on some super chats, and then going to have you guys follow me on Instagram. Let's ride. Brian Skaj says, is that superstar punter still available? We've totally got the picks to spin. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I think I'm starting the draft Ariza movement here on Bears Now. Montreal, Washington to Denver, and then we just saw Kyle Phillips go to Tennessee. I am starting the Matt Ariza to Chicago movement. Draft Ariza. You need a punter. The guy you have is a career journeyman. I think he could be a top 5 punter in the league right away. Multiple 80-yard punts for San Diego State last year. Averaged over 50 yards per punt in college football, which I believe was a record. Let's ride. So, Brian, appreciate the $5. Cheers to you. Ben Eckert, just got to get Don's negativity off the screen. Have fun with 4 wins, burr. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Hopefully that doesn't bite us in the ass, Ben, if Detroit has more wins than Chicago this year, but I don't think that'll happen. Logan with the 10-piece. Would you like Matthew Butler, defensive tackle from Tennessee? I would actually. I like him as a day 3 tech. I had like a 4th-ish round grade on him, so if you get him in the middle of the 5th, I'd be down. What if you took him and then an offensive lineman here at 166 and 168? Let's do it. Let's do it. Rilla, $2. Polls on had a few months to scout. First draft hard. Only had. I see what you're saying. Look, he's never done this before as the guy in charge. And by the way, I don't even think he's like doing that bad. Like, yeah, you got to learn on the job, and I'm sure he'll look back and say, maybe I should have pulled the trigger there, or I should have done this or that. But I don't think any draft ever goes to plan, which makes sense because there's so many trades. Superfan Disciple with a $10. Appreciate the super. Rogers is crying in his beer. He can't chug. How about no first-round receiver? Cheers, FGB. Appreciate that. Superfan. As we await the Bears selections here. Raiders have traded with the Rams. The Rams are now on the clock. I think the Raiders traded out of this pick. So L.A. on the clock here. Ed Smith. What's up, Coop?
I have a weigh-in after this.
Okay. Ed Smith. Let Don Burr know Hutchinson is a 1-year wonder, 4 years, 18 sacks, 14 coming this year, and he is a Lion now. So that itself means he is doomed. The absolute jinx from Ed Smith. Do you want to draft Matt Ariza? I think I'm making this the live poll. Let's ride. Yes or no? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Even if we're not doing reads, I think you can just rotate in that look as well. Y for yes, in for no. Eric says yes. Dank says no. Ray says yes. H. Scott says yes. Bears Junkie says yes. 81%. 81% saying yes. Justin Ross and Matt Araiza. All right. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it. We can have one elite, please. Spar says yes. Mincer says yes. Yes, draft Matt Araiza. Matt Araiza is the official pronunciation. 81% saying yes, Coop. Let's get the punt god to Chicago. Come on. I think I'm in. I think I'm in to get Matt Araiza to the Chicago Bears. Let's do it. Screw it. Let's do it. Do follow for follow here if that one's in there. Yes, from the Yo. Hey guys, while we're waiting for the Bears to get on the clock, let's play a little follow for follow game. First 20 guys that follow me on Instagram, guys and gals, I know some gals are watching as well. I follow you back here on IG at HGramNFL. I'll get the link in the live chat a couple of times. Actually, I'll double this. I'm 40 followers away from 3,100. So everyone to 3,100 gets a follow back. How about that? Sid gets a follow. Justin gets a follow. Luke Claus, Preston, all getting follows. Keeping it in the live chat. Ray Phillips, Jaden, Home Fitness. It's a race to 3,100. Everybody that gets there gets a follow from me. Armin, Michael, Hunter, Coach Eberflus. Flus, you watching? You got a pick to get ready for. Grant, Gaber, Ramiro, AFAM, Christian Garcia, Alex, Chris, Tony Crane, Max Carr, Brady, Zane, Nolan, Drew. It's Ben, Blaze. Keep following me. I'll keep giving follows. Soto, Bryce. And you can DM me your Bears questions. We can chop it up. Following everybody. I can't shout all of them out, but I'm following everybody who's following me here. I got to catch up on some DMs, but I promise I will follow everybody back that follows me. James, Kyler, Daniel, Muddy Waters, Jeff, Kyle, Jeremy, Logan, all getting follows back from your boy here at HGramNFL. All right, we crossed 3,100. I can try to catch up on some follows later. but we shall see. Appreciate you guys for giving me a follow there. Slide in the DMs. I'm always posting about the Bears. $20 super chat, which means it's time to take a shot. 33 minutes away from the call-in show, which we'll explain a couple more times before we go over there. But that's what we're doing. I'll take the shot first. Call-in is like Twitter Spaces on crack, so go to chatsports.com/BearsCallin. Subscribe. You guys can call radio style, and we will answer your questions. Brian Scotch, $20. How sick would it be to have a punter that bombs at 1,000,000 yards and flips the field every single time? Then we have a no-fly defense that smothers the teams in their own territory. 2006 Bears had amazing special teams. Look, special teams is a major factor. We saw Green Bay last year. They were terrible on special teams. That is why they lost, in large part, the game to the 49ers in the playoffs, because their special teams unit sucked. So, yes, it's a big part of the game. There's no doubt about it. We just got another $20 super chat. That's another shot. You want to take this one? Coop's going to take this one. Vikings just made a pick at 165, so Bears back on the clock. Who do you want the Bears to draft? You took your shot glass over there. Yeah, take a freshie.
Yep.
That's why I grabbed a few. You just hear the rumbling,
Cheers.
stumbling.
Hope you guys make a good pick.
Bears down. Bear down. Here we go. Here we go.
Woo!
Let's ride, Coop. Let's ride, Coop. Who do you want the Bears to draft? Come on. Who do you want? Deesh. Kellen Deesh in the chat. Sawyer in the chat. That would probably be my pick. The Bears traded again. Why? Unbelievable. I'm fine with it, but I'm trying to do these damn videos. Ugh. Trade again. We just took this shot from Rick. Appreciate it. We got another 20. I'll take this one. Shots for trades. I'd be fucked if that was the case. Cheers. Zane with the $10. Oh, Thayer, draft him, please. Yeah, I think you're talking about Areza, but we'll see. They just traded back again. Again. Zane Gray with the $10. First of all, thanks for the follow back on IG. You're welcome. Second, I have a bad feeling we're going to be punting a lot this year, so we might as well have a beast mode punter. Hoping for the best, though. Look, we'll see. We'll see if Luke Getsy and Justin Fields, this tandem, can get the best out of one another, but we'll have to find out. So, trying to get an update on all the picks the Bears have now. The Bears traded 166 for 174 and 226. So, a lot of picks coming up for the Bears. A lot of picks. It be like that. This is now the most traded pick of all time, by the way. This 166th pick, it's been traded by 3 different teams. And now Cincinnati has it. And they draft Tyson Anderson, the safety out of Toledo. So Bears about to be back on the clock at 168, but we'll see. Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker, Velus Jones Jr. remain as the only new Bears for now. But it's entertaining, I'll tell you that. I think 68 and 74. If they trade down from 74, they we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I know. Who do you want the Bears to draft next? Let us know. Let's hear it. We could film the first part, and then they just double highlight, cut, and splice. That could be an option. Who do you want the Bears to draft? I don't know anymore, from Ray Phillips. Fire polls for trading Mac. I'm good. I don't want to fire polls. More trades. Trades galore, man. Trades freaking galore. Will the Bears have every 6th-round pick in this draft? Type yes or type Y for yes, type N for no. So, we'll see. Love this from Henning. Listen, in general, you get more darts, you got more opportunities to hit on some guys. You know, round 5 versus round 6 and 7. I mean, it's kind of, you get to this point, there's not a lot of difference in these prospects. So, you know, you're hoping a couple of them hit. I think the first 2 picks you selected in Gordon and Brisker will be good players. We'll see on Velus Jones. I think at worst he'll be a good special teamer, and then we'll see about the day 3 guys here. So we'll see. 1,400 live. 1,400 live. Let's do a call-in push here because we got a lot of people watching live as we await for the next Bears pick here. Subscribe and follow us on the Call-In app. We're going to go live 2:30, 27 minutes. We got 1,400 people live here on YouTube, and we want you guys to join us over there here in just over 26 minutes. We're going to be live breaking down everything that's going on with the Bears, and, you know, we'll react to the picks over there. We want to grow on that app, so we're going to use this opportunity to drive some audience over there. And this is an app that allows you guys to call into the show Twitter Spaces style, and I answer your questions, but it's a lot better than Twitter Spaces. If you're watching on your TV, your Fire Stick, whatever, take a picture of this QR code. That'll redirect you to Bears Now by Chat Sports on Call-In, and hit that sub button. We're going live here in about 25 minutes, so I want to get some more subscribers over there. So join the movement. We'll have you covered. Audio social podcasting app where you guys can ask questions. I'll talk about the Bears like I normally do. You guys get into the caller queue, and I'll answer your questions, and it's my chance to talk to all of you. It's your chance to call in and interact with me directly. Chatsports.com/BearsCallin. That's chatsports.com/BearsCallin. Let's freaking ride. So that's what we're doing here at the end of the day. All right. And that's coming up here in about 25 minutes, so stay tuned for that. Let's see here. Bears are back on the clock. How you feeling about the draft so far? Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 being you hate it, 10 being you love it, 5 being you're in the middle. Bears back on the clock at number 166, or 168. Let's see. Deron Bland goes to Dallas. I think that's probably the plan. Let's see who the pick is. We can make a call. Scale it from 1 to 10. Drew says 4. Fish says 4. Grant says 8. Javen says 8. Grant says 8. Check Slack. Terry says 7. Shay says 9. The Bears now own picks 168, 174, 203, 207, 226, 254, and 255. What's up? We are good. Who do you want the Bears to draft next? They're on the clock. The Bears have made a pick. They've made a pick. We'll tell you who it is in a second. It's an offensive lineman, and his name is Braxton Jones. That is the selection here per my Twitter feed. We'll confirm that in a second. Braxton Jones, 6'7", 310 pounds, Southern Utah. Offensive lineman out of Southern Utah. We'll talk about him momentarily here. Braxton Jones. That is the pick. So grade the pick. A, B, C, D, or F. It's an offensive lineman. We'll kind of take a look at some of the scouting report stuff and whatnot momentarily. And then we'll go from there. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the pick of Braxton Jones to Chicago. A from Gregory. D from Scott. Javen says B. Another Josh says C. Jamie says B. Daniel says D. JD says Z. I don't know what Z is. Is that bad? Guess it's not good. Andrew says C+. Rennie Martin says D. The Great says A. Maddie says B. Grade the pick A, B, C, D, or F. Get your grades in here down in the comment section. Get your grades in. I got to message something to one of my producers here. Here's his profile here. 6'5.5", so the website I looked up had him at 6'7", so that was an exaggeration. But still tall, 6'5.25", actually, 310 pounds. Gave up 3 sacks, so let's go with that plan here. Coop, we'll kind of expand on this pick. Southern Utah, we're going to – say what? Yeah, sounds good. We're going to go ahead, presented by Off the Top. We'll end with the read, hard pause, splice on the back end. All right, cool. Interesting pick. Look, I'm glad they go offensive line, right? Let's take a look at his scouting report real quick from Tom Downey, get some deeper thoughts here as the Bears finally add an offensive lineman here. Number 173 overall player for Tom, so they pick him at 168, so about the range here for him. Great physical traits, potential upside here. Obviously, small college kid. Good run blocker, needs to improve as a pass blocker, but at 310, light enough to move around, and that's what Ryan Poles wants. Did not play that well against their only opponent in the FBS when they played Arizona State. So probably a project, probably not a guy who's going to start right away, but some more depth, and Ryan Poles adds a piece to this offensive line for Chicago. So grade the pick, A, B, C, D, or F. We'll break this down in further detail in a moment. A lot of you guys like the pick. 35-inch arms, too. He's long, which I like. Long arms. Well, you know what they say about long arms? You can block better. That's what they say. A. Daresh says B. Drew says B. Yeah, obviously we can't show the other pick, but that's fine. Yeah. Just 4-ish, 5 minutes. We'll do the same thing on the other end. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the pick and let us know. We got the O-line depth chart, so you can flash that also. All right, here we go. Let's break down the pick of Braxton Jones. The 2022 NFL Draft is presented by Manscaped, and the Chicago Bears are back involved here on day 3 of the NFL Draft after a flurry of trades. But they have added a new member to this football team. We'll talk about it in a second. Manscaped.com/chat is the place to go to get the best men's grooming products on the market for 20% off and free shipping. Let's talk about the latest pick that has come in here. That is Braxton Jones, the offensive tackle out of Southern Utah. Has good size at 6'5 and a quarter, 310 pounds. Obviously small college kid, but the fact that he's going pro as a junior shows that he was getting some NFL draft love, and obviously enough to get drafted here in the 5th round, as Ryan Poles and the Bears have finally added some offensive line help. They get a guy here on day number 3. A lot of trade downs before making this selection. Traded down from 148, traded down from 150, traded down again, but then made a selection here at 168 overall. You look at his measurables beyond his height and weight, which we just talked about. Long arms, 35.5-inch arms almost. Hands are big, wingspan is long. He has the physical traits to potentially be a guy that could maybe start down the road. I think early on, probably year 1, developmental guy. I mean, the jump from Southern Utah to the NFL is obviously going to be a jump for a guy like Braxton Jones, but I think this is a worthwhile pick at this point in the draft, and I'm excited to see what he ends up being. So spam the comments, grade the pick for us, A, B, C, D, or F. Let us know how you feel about this one down below. I think it's a solid B-plus grade. You get an offensive lineman. The value is proper. It fills a need. Now it's up to him and the Bears coaching staff to see how good he can actually be. So A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the pick of Braxton Jones at 168. Take a look at the scouting report now from our guy, Tom Downey. We talked about the physical traits, which we outlined for you guys. The upside is there, like I mentioned. Now, you take linemen on day 3, there's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be some technique work that is needed. And, it's hit and miss. It's very possible in 3 years this guy's out of the league. It's also possible he's a starter down the road. You just never know. He's really good as a run blocker, which I do think the Bears are still going to want to run the football in this outside zone scheme that Luke Getsy wants to run. Pass technique needs to improve, but again, if he's a backup as a rookie, a rotation guy, I think that's okay. Did struggle when they faced Power 5 competition in Arizona State, but keep in mind he's also playing next to a bunch of guys that are not up to his caliber. This was NFL.com's Lance Zierlein breakdown of Jones. Says his run blocking isn't as dynamic or athletic as expected, and his issues with pad level are a concern. However, has good slide quickness, developmental traits, and talent that should not be overlooked in pass protection. So he actually likes the upside of Jones as a pass blocker. You look at how he tested in the pre-draft process. Sub 5'4", 540, so, offensive lineman, that's decent speed. 26 reps on the bench, that's pretty good, especially for a guy with long arms. The longer arms, the harder it is to do the reps over and over again. 25.5-inch vertical as well. Now, today's show is powered by Manscaped. The Ultra Premium Collection is an awesome 5 collection item here, 5 items in this collection, I should say, that I use every single day. And you can get 20% off plus free shipping at $39.99 at manscaped.com/chat. Comes with the body wash, body spray. You get shampoo and conditioner as well, in addition to this awesome deodorant, which lasts quite a while. Don't let the smaller tube confuse you here. You get some lip balm with it as well. All of these products for $39.99. Great products. Comes in great packaging as well. And Manscaped is awesome because they're raising awareness for testicular cancer awareness, which we are in Testicular Cancer Awareness Month right now. Check out this product. Check out their other products from Manscaped when you go to manscaped.com/chat. Really good deal, 20% off plus free shipping when you use that link. That link will be down in the comments. It'll also be in the description, manscaped.com/chat. Give us your one-word reaction to this pick, and let's use this one for the other pick since we went that route. Manscaped.com/chat. One-word reaction to this selection. And let's plug Colin again here. Bears almost on the clock again. We're at 172 right now. So we'll break down 174 shortly. I like that one as soon as it's in. Get to it here. So Ryan Poles has turned 3 picks into 7 picks today, as they're set to pick again at 174. Some of the picks that came in just now: Ty Chandler, the North Carolina running back, goes to Minnesota. Tegan Quinteranio goes to Oregon State. And then Luke Wattenberg, the Washington center, goes to Denver. 49ers on the clock, and then we got the Giants before the Bears at 174. Intriguing from Colin. Albert says needed. Irv says glasses. Potential from Willie. Trades 172. Pancakes from GDA. So there you go. 49ers just made a pick. Sam Womack at 172. What were you asking? Yeah, we'll push it here, then we'll kind of get into the countdown after the second part of this. I think you can flash the countdown here, but we'll do kind of the final countdown coming up there. Appreciate you guys for rocking with us here. Oh, subread early in the second part of the chunk. One word reaction. We want Ariza. We want Ariza. We want Ariza. Let's make it happen. I'm definitely down to make that happen. All right, want to keep promoting Call In because we're almost there. 13 minutes. We're going live at the end of this round. 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central Time. We're going to break down Pick 174, and then basically we're going live on Call In. So that's how we're rocking. That's how we're rolling. Chatsports.com/BearsCallIn. This app allows you guys to call me directly. It's audio podcasting style. It's like sports radio. I'm the host. You guys are the fans. You call in. I break it down with you guys, and we'll have a lot of fun. We'll react to the Bears picks today. We'll also take a look at everything else going on in the NFL draft. And whatever your questions are, I am happy to answer them here on the Call-In app. We're going live in less than 12 minutes, 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central Time. Once that clock runs out, we're signing off on YouTube, and we're going live on Call-In. That's how we roll. So we'll keep that timer on here, except for the cut, of course, Coop. And then we'll get you guys over there. Subscribe right now. Any new subscribers, I can shout you guys out. Let's see if any more have come in. And after the second cut, I'm going to push the link of the actual show. 43 subscribers now. Andre, Neil, Brandon, Vin, James, another Harrison, great name, Adam, Josh, Byron, Jeff, Devin, Gunner, and there you go. So let's ride on that one. Bears back on the clock. Who do you want? You could take Sawyer here. You could go Lyman. You could go Matt Ariza. I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate it here. You guys get your shout-outs in. Can we flash the receivers? I want to see what receivers are available here for Chicago. What receivers are on the clock? Let's get it going here. Justin Ross, Bo Melton.
Take Justin Ross.
Do you take Justin Ross? It's a risk. Maybe I'd gamble here. Bo Melton's intriguing. Sawyer or Ariza from Bear. Dixon is nice from Nicholls State. John says Ross. We need a big receiver. Ross is big. He'd give you some of that, big frame there. Punt God, Matt Ariza. Listen, I'm not opposed. If they draft Ariza here, I would not hate it. I would not hate it. Ross from Avinash, Kalen Barnes, 4.2340. He's fast as hell. They want the best athlete available. He might be the selection. Let's see. Still waiting. Still waiting. How good is Ross? Let's go back to the question. Who do you guys want to draft here? Let's see. Who do you want? Don't trade down again, polls. Don't cuck me. I think the pick is in. Check what I put in Slack. That'll be the plan. All right, cool. The pick is in. No trade. Let's see who it is. Usually someone tips the pick on Twitter for us. Who's it going to be? Getting anxious. Please, is it? Oh. Coop's guessing Matt Ariza. Are they going punter? Are they going punter? Oh, man. Who is it? I got to know. They select a defensive end, Dominique Robinson, who is one of the top players on Downey's big board. And look, after trading Khalil Mack, you probably needed some edge depth, so that's where they're going to go. So we're going to break that down just in a second. Grade the pick, A, B, C, D, or F. Dominique Robinson is the selection. Grade the pick. F from Crazy, D- from Andre, G Grados. Remember the subby early in this second chunk. A- from Logan, C from Mincer, F- from Luke. Colin says B-. Tom Downey's boy from Miami of Ohio. Let's ride. Let's ride. F from Killen. B from Connor. I actually like the upside here. Decent upside. Sinking on you. Killen says F. How long was the first chunk? That's not the right trade anyway. Oh, just don't go to that. Don't worry about too many trades now. Just start with the pick profile and go from there. Subread, one more way in. Get this piece to 8. All right, we're going to break this down. Even if you have to go me full with this lower third, we just have to start it here. C+ from Mark. All right, here we go. Let's break this down. The Bears' second pick that we'll discuss here, round 5, pick number 174, is Dominique Robinson out of Miami of Ohio, an edge rusher who is a very intriguing prospect. I know my guy Tom Downey, who went to Miami of Ohio, was a big fan of his. 6'5", 250 pounds, has athletic traits, 4.5 sacks a year ago. And look, you go defense again, but let's be honest. After trading Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn's probably not going to be here forever, you at least needed some depth at the edge rusher position, and that is what Robinson gives you here in round number 5. So that is something to keep in mind here for Chicago as we break this down pick down a little bit further in just a moment. We'll take a look at his combine stuff and whatnot. Subscribe to the channel. The offseason's heating up. Free agency. We're in the draft right now. We'll have draft grades later today as well. Hit that subscribe button, youtube.com/BearsNow. Nobody will keep you in the loop like we will here at Chicago Bears Now. You take a look at the scouting report of Dominique Robinson, number 14 overall edge, number 87 overall player, number 14 edge, I should say. Good athlete, fascinating upside, more impactful than you'd think given his limited play on the edge. I don't know if he's a viable run defender right now, but maybe he can be a rotation pass rusher for Chicago. That is very much a possibility. Here was Lance Zierlein's breakdown on NFL.com. Jones' run blocking isn't as dynamic or as athletic as expected, and his issues with pad level are a concern. However, he has good slide quickness, developmental traits, a talent that should not be overlooked in there as well. Oh, that was for Jones, the other pick here. Dominique Robinson, we'll talk more about him. That's okay. No big deal, as we just talked about Jones earlier on. Good athletic traits, like Downey said. I think a guy that can come in and give you a little bit of pass rush ability. I'll be curious to see how he stacks up with Chicago. Big offseason coming up for all these rookies as they look to prove their worth and earn a roster spot, and hopefully more for a lot of these guys as well. So a couple of picks here in the 5th round of the NFL draft for the Chicago Bears. You look at the defensive line depth chart to see where he could stack in. I mean, is he better than Charles Snowden, a UDFA from last year? If he is, he probably makes this team. Jeremiah Tashu, could he be a veteran there as a depth guy? I think Robert Quinn, Travis Gibson, and Al-Qadim Muhammad are going to be your top 3 edge rushers. Mario Edwards could kick inside some, so we'll see how he fits in at this point in time. Now, if you're watching this video live or on demand, we're literally about to go live on Call-In. So subscribe, chatsports.com/BearsCallin. It's an audio podcasting app that allows you guys to call in like Twitter Spaces and radio style, where you guys get up in the queue and I answer all of your questions. We get to connect with one another on this app. It's a lot of fun. I've been doing those IG lives, but if you're a little camera shy, this is a better app for you because all you got to do is talk. You don't actually have to get your voice or have your face on the show. Call in, chatsports.com/BearsCallin. We're going to break down more Bears draft stuff here on day 3. You look at his Combine Pro Day stuff, 4.72 in the 40, decent. 41-inch vertical. I mean, he's bouncy. He's got some athletic stuff that really stands out. The broad jump over 10 feet, 25 on the bench. I definitely think that he's an intriguing player to monitor for sure. Now, which 5th-round pick do you like more? Type J for Jones, type R for Robinson, as the Bears add an offensive and defensive lineman. We'll see how these two players stack up. Fascinated to see what Matt Eberflus and this coaching staff can do with each one of these players. So it should be a whole lot of fun. So to quick recap what the Bears have done so far, and then we'll end this segment. Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker, Velus Jones Jr., and then here in round 5, Braxton Jones, the offensive lineman out of Southern Utah, before going Dominique Robinson here in round 5. So grade the pick, and I'm going to get set up for call-in here. Get my AirPods in. Let's do a final push here, Coop. We're about to go live on call-in. Yep. Join me live. I'm tweeting out the call-in link because we're about to go live over there for Chicago Bears draft coverage. We are down. This is it. We're going live right here. We'll give you an extra 5 minutes to get over there, then we're going to sign off on YouTube. Here we go. Let's have some fun here on the call-in app. The link is in the chat. I'm going to start this live here. So here we go. Going live on call-in. Join us over there because at 2:35 Central Time, as I am now live on call-in, welcome in to everybody who comes on over here. Join us at 2:35. We're ending YouTube, and we're going to be call-in only. I've already got a few callers lined up, ready to go. Starting at 2:35, we'll let some people call in. So if you want to request a call, hit that little phone icon in the bottom right, and then once I get you on, you guys will have to unmute yourself. There will be a microphone button in the bottom right. You guys can unmute yourself. We'll do all of that. If you're still watching on YouTube, we'll give you a couple minutes. QR code on screen for anyone watching on their television at home. And you guys can take a picture of that. That'll redirect you to the call-in app. So come join us. We'll give you a couple more minutes here. And hop in the queue if you guys want to request to talk. And we'll have some fun. We'll talk some Bears. Chatsports.com/BearsCallin. Subscribe over there. And we will get you on the call here momentarily here. So a couple minutes and we'll have some fun. If you're just joining us on call-in and you aren't coming from YouTube, welcome in. We'll take some calls here in the next 3 or 4 minutes as we get a few more people over from YouTube, and then we'll talk some Bears football. fired up to answer all your questions. We have a live chat here on Call-In too. Bear down, baby, from Tyler Houston. Let me know if I'm sounding good, Tyler, or anyone else on Call-In. Want to make sure the audio is working properly. You can go to the listicle. That works here. If you're still on YouTube, still peppering the live chat with the link, chatsports.com/BearsCallin. Audio social podcasting app. We're going to go live every week here if you're listening on Call-In. Cool. Tyler Houston says we're sounding good. I want to grow this platform, so if you're finding the feed here, hit the subscribe button. You can also follow my profile, as I'm going to be the host here, obviously, of Bears Now on Call-In. I want to interact with all of you, so chatsports.com/BearsCallin. We've got Nate, Josh, Tyler, Matthew, Josh, Vin, Patrick, Harrison, Logan, Q Carrito, Jacob, Jeremy, Owen, Rob, Nathan, Brett, L, Raphael, all in the chat. We should recap here what the Bears have done with their last couple of picks here, as they have selected a couple of players. If you guys weren't watching on YouTube just a few moments ago, the Bears traded down a bunch, but they drafted Braxton Jones out of Southern Utah, the offensive tackle, and then they went edge rusher Dominique Robinson out of Miami of Ohio. We'll break all that down. Ryan Pohl still has a lot of picks to work with. We'll get to all of that here on Call-In. Let's go final call here on YouTube. Final call on YouTube. I'm going to give you people on YouTube Live, still over 700, 60 seconds. 60 seconds on YouTube, and then we are going strictly on Call-In. I already have a few people requesting to call in and ask their questions. Tyler, Tommy, I see you guys. We will get you guys on the show momentarily. So final minute here on YouTube, and then we are going to be strictly on Call-In. So that's how we're going to do it here. You guys can hop on Call-In. Call in to me, literally. That's the point of the name. And then we can answer all your questions. We can talk about the draft. We can talk about free agency if you want to. Any other questions, we'll be live for until about 3 o'clock Central, maybe 3:10 or so. So appreciate all of that. All right. We're signing off on YouTube. If you're not going to join us on Call-In, that's okay. I would encourage you to do so. It's still in the live chat. Chatsports.com/BearsCallin. Hit subscribe on YouTube for those of you still there. We'll have more videos to come. Bears draft grades coming up later on in the day once the draft is over. So we're going to sign off here on YouTube. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we're going to shift over to Call-In.